Recently we had a chance to test the Aorus CV27F tactical monitor, which was the first Gigabyte model of its kind that we have reviewed. Gigabyte is a company that has earned itself a very good reputation, so we're glad that their monitors, which are a relatively new addition to their portfolio, were given as much dedication from the brand as their lines of motherboards and graphics cards, which the company is most famous for. This time we have received another monitor, tactical as Gigabyte likes to call it, which also belongs to its Aorus sub-brand aimed at the gaming crowd. CV27F shares some of the traits with previously tested KD25F, but is essentially a very different monitor designed for another type of gamers. At first glance, it did look a bit like KD25F, mostly because of the similar visual style, one which has earned its predecessor our Advanced Design Award. However, CV27F is simpler looking, with a more traditional stand and a base made of cast metal, but still very elegant, especially the back, which is the part that gives it a very distinct look. LED lighting is also there, but this time only on the back of the panel, unlike KD25F, which had an illuminated Aorus logo on the stand as well. Light, color and effects are programmable in Gigabyte's RGB Fusion software, which also allows you to synchronize it with other Gigabyte gear like motherboards and graphics cards, and style your whole gaming rig pretty much any way you like it. A well-designed graphical user interface is controlled by a mini joystick on the bottom of the panel, which offers a very precise control, but Gigabyte made it even easier via OSD Sidekick software that will also let you design your own crosshair or set any parameter on the fly via hotkeys. The stand is height adjustable by 130mm, rotates by 20 degrees both ways, and supports tilt by 5 degrees down and 22 degrees up. Plus there's a hole in the lower part of the stand that lets you neatly group your cables. As for connection options, there's USB for PC control, HDMI or DisplayPort for picture source, and 3.5mm jacks for headphones and microphone. One of Aorus' exclusive functions is ANC, which I suppose stands for Active Noise Cancellation, which is actually a DSP chip that processes mic input and offers cleaner and clearer in-game communication. Compared to the previously tested Aorus model, CV27F comes with a bigger 27-inch panel, but VA instead of a fast TN type. This is probably the biggest difference between the two, but we had to ask ourselves, does it still deserve the name tactical then? While it totally makes sense with the 240Hz TN panel, VA panels traditionally have slower response times, thus they're not the best choice for esports and fast-paced action games. What turns things around in this case is the fact that CV27F refreshes at 165Hz, which attributes to less pixel persistence and less perceived ghosting. Therefore, image is fairly sharp for a VA panel, even with fast-moving objects or in UFO test, especially when fast overdrive option is activated. Object trail isn't completely absent, not even on a level of faster TN panels, but the response time is good enough to allow you to play games like Apex Legends and PUBG quite comfortably. Typically for VA, ghosting is most pronounced in very dark scenes, but all in all we have to say this is one of the better VA-based gaming monitors we've tried so far. More so if you count a very low input lag of about 8.2 milliseconds, which is in line with the best monitors we've had a chance to test. Gigabyte also implemented this thing they call aim stabilizer, which is in fact a standard backlight strobing technique, but we have to say it doesn't do too well with this panel, so while image is expectedly darker, response time benefits simply do not justify using it. Since you can't use aim stabilizer and variable refresh rate simultaneously, we recommend users to stick to FreeSync, which is much more useful. Speaking of, this monitor is FreeSync 2 certified, but is G-Sync compatible as well, so a smooth stutter-free gameplay with refresh rate locked to your FPS is supported on both AMD and Nvidia graphics cards. Besides variable refresh rate, FreeSync 2 incorporates HDR as well, in this case a base HDR 400 standard with maximum brightness of 400 nits, though the monitor did exceed this figure in our measurements by about 5%. FreeSync 2 HDR mode looks great in games that support it, like Far Cry 5, while in other games, as well as if you own an Nvidia graphics card, monitor will use HDR10 mode. As for picture quality, CV27F uses a panel with 8 bits per color channel, but it did manage to display 87.5% of DCI-P free gamut in our measurements, which is quite a respectable score. Measured contrast of 3200:1 may not be the best we've seen from a VA panel, but it's certainly much higher than what TN and IPS can deliver, allowing the monitor to make a very good visual impression along with pleasantly saturated colors. Best color accuracy is achieved in standard picture mode with delta E deviation of 3.3, which is just outside of what is considered a good precision. Screen resolution is Full HD, which offers fair pixel sharpness at 27 inches, but also keeps hardware requirements lower so you can achieve higher frame rates and be able to use the advantages offered by 165Hz refresh rate. We should mention that panel is curved with 1500R radius, unlike the usual 1800R, which is way more common, and it gives such a natural feel that you're likely to forget it's even curved after 5 minutes of gaming. Common curved VA panel problems like bad uniformity and edge light bleeding are completely absent, so Gigabyte obviously did a very good job with build quality and control. Overall, Aorus CV27F offers an interesting combo with a fast refresh rate, curved VA panel and HDR support. Its current price is about €390, that's about $435, which is pretty fair considering the specs. CV27F will be a good choice for gamers looking for a modern monitor, capable of offering a good experience in movies and TV shows besides gaming. Only the most hardcore esports crowd would have any reason to choose KD25F instead, while we're sure everyone else would be more than pleased with what CV27F has to offer. Thanks for joining us for another bench house review. Leave your opinions on this monitor in the comment section, like the video to show us your support, and subscribe for more content like this. See you next time.